Hi guys, Tom from Scale here. Today I'm just going to be filming a quick video on how to replace the gate motor on your Phil2500 or your Phil5000. So the first thing you'll need to do, I've already done this, but it'll just be to take the 4 clips off of the top of the machine and then just very carefully lift the top of the machine off so you can gain access to the internals. Also, I've just got a small Phillips screwdriver. So if we just pan in here, you can see there is 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. So I will just start taking the first screw of the 4 out. So I've now removed all 4 of the screws which hold the door motor in place. Just be mindful that when you remove the last screw, the door motor may just kind of fall onto the table or whatever work surface you're doing it on, but it doesn't really matter because this is the one that you'll be replacing. So then you can see the arm that connects the motor to the door itself will come loose. And then there's just a grub screw. So I've just got a very small Allen key here. And we will just need to give this a couple of turns just to loosen this off. That should do. And then the arm will pop off. And then you can put the arm to one side. And then the door motor will be completely removed from the door itself. And we can move on to disconnecting it. So now I'm just going to show you how to disconnect the wire of the old door motor from the control panel. So all you'll need to do is just get this green port here and take this out. Make sure the machine is off first of all, of course. You can see that the 2 green wires at the bottom of this green port are the ones that connect to the door motor. There's 2 screws here, one here, and one here. You don't need to fully remove these, they can just be loosened off slightly so you can take the wires out. So I will just start loosening this off. So the 2 green wires have now been loosened off, so I can just pop them out carefully. And then just for the moment, I'll plug this green port back in just so it's not in the way. So, and then I'll just feed these 2 wires here. They may or may not be cable tied on. Feed them through, and then I can grab the door motor, and then the old door motor will be removed. So now I will get a new door motor and show you how to fit that. So I've got a new door motor now. Just before we start installing it, one thing to check is just to make sure that there is plenty of the copper wiring exposed from the green wire, just to make sure that there's a proper connection between the wires and the control panel. So the first thing that I will do is get the arm which connects the door motor to the actual door itself. You can see there's a grub screw here and a slot on the door motor itself. So if you just line that up like that, and I will grab the Allen key I used earlier, and I will just give it a couple of turns. That's fully bolted on. So now that the arm is attached to the door motor, I'm just making sure that the arm itself is in the correct position for it to be installed into the machine. So you can see there are 4 screw holes, which earlier we took them out of the old door motor. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just trying to adjust this. So you can see that just manually moves around like so. And then I just need to make sure that these will align up with the screw holes in the machine. So I will just get this into the correct position and then we'll film the next part. So I have now aligned the door motor with the screw holes on the door itself, and the arm is now clipped. You can see here, clipped into the door itself so it can open and close. So I'm just going to pop the 4 screws back in, which actually attach the door motor and the arm to the bracket, which holds them all in place. The best way I've found it, I've just got one of the screws here, is just to pop one of the screws through the hole like this. And then if you just grab your small Phillips screwdriver again, pop a bit of pressure on it like so, line it up with the hole, and then you should just be able to get the first one in. And then once you've got the first one in, the others should be a bit easier. So I will pop these back in and then move on to the next step. So now that the door motor is screwed into the bracket and the arm of the door is clipped back into the door itself, what I've done is just fed these green wires back through where it's cable tied, just so they're a bit more secure. And now I am just going to unplug the green port again so that we can connect the wires back up to the control panel. So if you remember, there's two screws, 1 and 2. These need to be kind of not fully out of the hole, but they need to be unscrewed so you can secure the wires. The only thing to note is that the top wire, so if you just follow it round, so I'll follow it with my finger. So the top wire goes through to the bottom there. So the top wire on here needs to go into the bottom port, the one right at the bottom. And then if you just grab the other one, which is the one which has the lower wire on the door motor, needs to go into the second bottom port. And then I will just screw these in. So now that these two wires are back in the port and they are fully secured, I will put this back into the control panel like so. It's all secured in, and then all you would do is just pop the top of your machine back on. And then do the clips, and that is how you change the door motor on a Phil2500 or a Phil5000. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. If you do have any further questions, please just reach out and we'll be happy to help.